Hi guys, it's Crystal Tantric Yogi, your certified Tantra Yoga instructor and intimacy coach. I'm doing another talking head video today. I think eventually I'll get back to the vlogs, but it seems like there's quite a bit of interest in my talking head videos lately. And when I say quite a few, I mean I got a few hundred views, which is nice and substantially better than the first few videos that I put out. So I'm like, maybe this type of content is resonating and I'll just build off of this as time goes. And it feels good just to kind of sit here and share these kind of intimate conversations with you. So we'll see what happens. I did do a self-pleasure tantra workshop this weekend where it was mainly women. And it wasn't a huge crowd, it was about 11 people. And I was so inspired by the women that came and how interested they were, and they were hungry for more. So I might start including sacred sexuality informative videos as well on this channel. You know, you can let me know in the comments if you're interested in like self-pleasure or tantric rituals or how to use tantric rituals to heal through pleasure. Those are all really important topics, and I was reminded of that this weekend. I also just finished my ebook. I'm having a little trouble with figuring out what platform to offer it on, so I hope you guys will have patience with me, but it was a labor of love, and that will be available soon. The name of the book is entitled Healing with Love, a Self-Love Workbook for Life After Trauma. It's a long title, so I had to read it. But as I was reading over my ebook, sorry, in New York, as I was reading over my ebook, like doing like the last little edits over it, I thought about some things that I didn't include in the ebook that I wish I would have shared, and I was like, well, maybe I'll just share it in a YouTube video. So that's what this video is about. It's about self-love, and it's about 4 practices or 4 ways you can start to practice self-love that I feel like came up for me. These things came up for me as I was reflecting on how trauma specifically affected the way I love myself, and I was like, wow. I'm Crystal Tantric Yogi, a certified Tantra Yoga instructor and intimacy coach. Recently, I made the huge decision to move to New York City to continue my entrepreneurial journey. On this channel, you will witness me go through my many life transitions and challenges as I try to grow my business, basically start my life over, and explore and share what it has meant for me to be a liberated woman. My hope is not to just build a business, but I actually want to build a community of healing amongst like-minded females. The idea is maybe we can inspire each other to live our most authentic, liberated lives by just sharing our truth, just sharing information, our stories. How about I start here on YouTube and then you share your story? I did the way I love myself, and I was like, wow, if I would just have done these few things that I think you normally would do naturally if it was cultivated through the way you were raised, or just like if you wouldn't, I feel like you would naturally do these things as you developed, you know, into like a teenager and a young adult. And I think that relationships and hardships, because my trauma was triggered, I kind of lost my center and just forgot about these simple things when I was on my journey that I feel like are important to note moving forward for other people who this may have happened to as well. So I feel like when I mention these things, there may not be like super aha moments for you, but you might be like, oh yeah, sometimes I forget to do that, or yeah, I should practice that more. Like they should be things that kind of like are more like reminders, right? So the first one is keeping your own boundaries. So we hear a lot of talk about having really good, healthy boundaries and being assertive with them and making sure that people don't cross them. I feel like we hear a lot of talk about that. What I don't hear us talking as much about is like us honoring our own boundaries. And you think that would be common sense. Like if we set boundaries, you think that we would honor them. But a lot of times we don't. Like for example, I might decide that I only want to be with a guy that communicates with me well. Like if he's not a good communicator, then, you know, that's crossing a boundary. Like if you are not being consistent, or you're gaslighting, or you're ghosting, or like that would be a boundary that someone's crossed, and so that would need to be addressed, right? Or I would have to maybe remove this person from my life because I'm not, you know, that's a boundary. But if I decided, you know what, this person's not really communicating well, but maybe it'll be okay. Like maybe you know, like I can deal with this. You know, I see a lot of other great things about this person, and maybe I could give them a chance anyway. And you haven't even gone to the person and told them like, hey, this communication that's going on is an issue for me. I need better communication. So you haven't even let the person know that, hey, like I need you to communicate better. You know, you just instantly like cross your own boundary, and you're like, okay, like I'm just going to adjust my boundaries so that this can work. Like that's what I mean when you're saying you're not honoring your own boundaries. And that I feel like can be a trauma response to like abandonment in childhood, like just trying to do whatever to make a relationship. And it doesn't even have to be like with the opposite sex or a romantic relationship. It could just be, you know, with friendships or business relationships, like you not honoring your own boundaries. And I think a lot of times it does start there. It starts with you just honoring your own boundaries. Because sometimes we don't even give people a chance. Maybe they honor our boundaries if we just gave them a chance. The next one, and a lot of that, I wanted to say, is about people pleasing, really. But even sometimes it's even before people pleasing. Like we don't have enough faith that we're worthy of like even honoring our own boundaries. That's definitely a self-worth issue. The next one is setting standards for yourself. So a lot of times we will set standards for other people, but what about ourselves? And I thought about this like as you know, I was thinking about myself in high school and like how I would set goals for myself just because I wanted to be the best that I could be, and I'm just a really big dreamer. And I was like, you know, like just seeing myself as this really bright light and able to accomplish things that I hadn't even seen done yet, you know, and like just dreaming of like who all I could become. And I think as we get older as we start to go through like challenges or hardships or traumas, sometimes that gets tainted a little bit. And instead of setting standards for ourselves of how we would like to live, how we would like to be, we just start to do a lot of self-correction. So like even when we set goals for ourselves, like losing weight, or losing weight's a big one, making more money or whatever, it's not necessarily about like a standard of like us being our best selves. It's more like, well, I'll be more accepted, or I'll get this job, or I'll attract this person, or I'll attract this situation if I look like this. It's not even really a personal standard. It's just you trying to meet what you think other people's standards are for you to be worthy of certain things. And I think it would be a good practice every now and then to be like, well, what do I really want out of life? What's my standard of living, as far as like, what do I want my home to be like? What do I want the energy to be like? You know, what type of character do I want to have? What do I want to give back to the world? What do I want my mark to be on the world? How do I want to use my gifts and talents? How aesthetically do I want my body to look? What am I going to get out of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what standards am I setting for myself to be my best self? And I think you'll see this a lot with like high performing athletes and people who are extremely ambitious and have really big companies, like they're doing it because they believe in themselves, or they're not doing it because they are looking to prove a point to somebody else, or to, you know, prove that they have value. Like they already know they have value, and it's not a matter of like if they're going to do it, it's a matter of just timing, you know. And so like I think sometimes when you've gone through traumas, you can get lost in trying to prove yourself to other people instead of just proving yourself to you, and honoring like what you actually want to do and how you want to show up in the world. And that's a self-love practice. The next one I thought about was just treating yourself. I think it's important to treat yourself, and treating yourself, I feel like, is, you know, celebrating, you know, the small wins in life. Oftentimes I think we forget how far we've come, and when we do that, we can get discouraged easily because we feel like there's never a light at the end of the tunnel. But I think that if we take moments to just allow ourselves to have certain treats, meaning it might mean like you go get your nails done, even though maybe, you know, finances aren't super abundant, but you just set a little money aside to go get a massage or go get your nails done. Like it's not something that you absolutely need, and you're not doing it because you're going on a date. You're doing it because you're doing it for yourself, which I do think that might be something popular as far as self-care is concerned. But I think in the way that I looked at it through my traumas, like a lot of times I feel like I can't buy myself something or do something for myself unless I've earned it. Like even when I'm online shopping, a lot of times I'll be looking at something really cute and I'll be like, but where are you going, Crystal, to wear this? Sometimes I just need to buy something because I think it's cute, and maybe I need to find somewhere to wear it, you know? I don't need to be going on a date or be going out with friends to pick out something nice to wear and go choose something to do. Like I can just do it as a treat to myself. And the last one I thought about, which I think is pretty obvious, and we've probably heard this before, but I think is a good reminder, is just to put ourselves first. You know, especially as Black and brown women, we are taught to constantly give, constantly serve, and it's beautiful to serve, but you can't serve from an empty cup. And a lot of us know that, but I think we still forget at times, and we just need the reminder to like take care of ourselves first. Definitely the highest form of self-love is just to make sure that you are good mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Even when you're in a relationship, even when you're a mother, a sister, auntie, wife, and people need you, maybe you feel like you're more fortunate, wiser. If you're watching this, I'm sure you're very self-aware, so you might be on a spiritual journey too. You might be a leader or a healer in your community, and people are constantly looking to you to be inspired, looking to you for information. You might be a trailblazer, maybe a first-time graduate, generational graduate, but even still, you got to take care of you first, because you'll get burnt out, you'll get bitter, and you won't have anything to give, you know, if you're not looking out for yourself and you're not putting yourself first in every circumstance, even when it doesn't feel right. I remember when I wanted a divorce and I wanted to move to New York City, it was one of the hardest decisions that I made to break up my family, but I had to leave to heal. I had to. And now that I think of all the knowledge that I've gained, the awareness of my traumas, like I would have continued to pass down generational trauma if I wouldn't have done that. And I didn't even know that I needed to heal as much as I did. And I still have a lot to learn, but I knew I had to make that decision for myself. And there was a lot of people that I looked up to and respected that was like, are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to get a divorce? Are you sure you want to, you know, let your children live with your ex-husband for a while? And I was like, yeah, I feel like it's something that I need to do. And I needed to do that. I needed the space and the room and the time to see myself outside of the box that I was being kept in. And it's just a reminder, no matter what the circumstance looks like, make sure you put yourself first. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that this was a reminder to continue to practice self-love on a regular basis. And if you'd like to learn more about how to work with me and stay in touch with any future offerings, because I am planning to do a self-pleasure, Tantra self-pleasure intensive by the spring, and I've got some ideas in the works. So if you want to stay updated, go to crystaltantricyogi.com, sign up for my newsletter, and I'll probably be offering private coaching again. Yeah, I'm really ready to just like start teaching again. It was so fun past 2 weekends, just teaching again and being around women and a couple of men too that were interested in learning about Tantra. Like I'm ready for 2025. I had to update you guys on my personal life. It's been a lot going on, and hopefully maybe I'll do that in the next couple of videos in another vlog. But I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time.